So this is an example. These are examples of a basic setup for the API system with Ethernet IP. But we have one additional feature in here that I think is very important, and it has to do with doing parameterization, which may not come up in every case, but if you have more advanced modules, or even in for this example without just simple outputs, if you wanted to hold last state, that's a parameter that you need to set. We have a nice new way of doing that here, and it's called using our L5X export function.
Okay.
So let me show you that. Why don't you go back to the web server?
Okay.
And go to the Ethernet IP tab.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you see the Rockwell L5X project.
Yes. Well, before I go there,
Yeah.
remember that I added that additional module?
Yes.
Should it show here now?
Oh, that's a good point. Go to the AP system.
Okay. Oh, it's right
there
here.
It is, yeah. Hey,
I didn't have to.
And while we're here, that's a good example. While we're here, let's go to module 3 and 4.
Okay.
And we want to change a parameter. So you see where it says behavior and fail state?
Yeah.
Instead of reset outputs, we want to change that to hold last state.
Okay, so this is a manifold. That would mean that if something happens, there's a fault on the communication. Hold last state would mean that whenever it fails, the coils will remain at the state that they were in.
That's correct.
Got it. So hold that state, and then it's asking me for a username.
Okay.
And password.
So username is always admin,
Okay.
and the password should match the product key that's on the label of the API unit.
Of the
adapter.
Ethernet IP.
Yes.
The whole product key.
The whole product key, yeah.
Okay, so in this case, it says 3S7PN31RRW9. So here's a good question, Frank, and I don't know if you know the answer for this, but what if this module was mounted inside of the machine somewhere really deep in the machine and I couldn't see the product key?
So we don't have an alternate way to get the product key for security reasons.
Okay.
So it would be something that, just like the MAC ID, maybe it's a good point to inform someone in advance to record these values if they're going to do that.
Okay.
In advance. So you see, by the way, the product key is missing from the Ethernet IP module on the screen.
Yeah.
And that is purposely done as a security measure.
Okay. Is it possible to change this password or no?
It is possible to change the password, yes.
Okay.
So
maybe I just need to write it down the first time and that's it. I can change the password.
That's right.
Okay. So I clicked OK and then I saw something that said the parameters were
right. If you want to go now to the digital output module and do the same thing,
okay,
you can do the same and set hold last state, and you see that's the right success.
Okay.
So now you've changed the parameters, and you want these parameters to stick when you turn on the API system. So what you're going to do now is you will go back to the Ethernet IP tab.
Yep.
And now you would go to the L5X project.
Okay.
And here now you can create a name of a project. I would change the name.
Okay. Test 01.
Okay. I'd also would suggest to keep the global diagnostics and module diagnostics, so status assembly, you can keep that. You could turn it off here, but let's just keep it.
Okay.
And we want to enable the configuration assembly. We want to keep enabling the web server. We want it to be enabled. We want to have write access to it. And we could keep SNMP off at this moment. And then so now you can hit submit.
Submit. Okay.
And now download.
Okay.
And you should see, okay, here we have there's your file name.
Yeah.
Wherever you save it, wherever you like to save it.
Okay. I'll save it here. Okay. Save.
And save. And now you see, now you've just saved CPX-AP-I-test01, L5X. So that you can open up in your Logix software.
Okay. Do I have to close this project?
Yeah, I would turn that off. I would disable it. I would close it.
Just gonna save it for now.
Yeah. Okay. Save it.
Okay, so and then open or
Open
close?
open a new project. Oh yeah.
And it's this one, the one that I
Actually,
brought
you could
from. Oh,
also open up another instance of Logix as well. So if you hit cancel, and then you right click on the bottom of your
oh,
Studio 5000,
oh, here?
maybe right click on that.
Oh, just to open another one. Yeah.
Yeah, open another component of that application. We may not be able to see it together here.
It's loading, I think. So now that L5X file, it is actually a complete project, right? It's not like an AOI or anything
That's
like that. It's a
correct.
whole project.
It's a project, that's correct. And what we're going to do is we're going to export things from that project. And the way to do that is explained in the app note that was developed.
Okay. So on this app note, I can find that how to use that
Yes,
L5X.
looks like in section 4
Section 4.
it starts, 4.2.
That right here.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is what you showed me right now. Don't
Yeah.
download, and then you'll get the file.
Correct.
And then you open it. So we're here.
So we're at the steps at 4.2.2 where we're going to go through the Studio 5000 procedures to open that up. Yeah, 2.2.4 should be the next thing once you open up that L5X file.
Okay. Revision 32, which is the one that I'm using.
Yes.
And then import.
Right. So when you pick the file, the first thing it asks you is for a version number, right?
Yeah.
So you pick the version that you're working in and you export it, and a project will come up and you see the name is there. Ethernet module test 01.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay. And you can double click on that.
Oh, hold on. It already has the IP address.
Oh
set.
yeah. And you can see that the table is going to be set up. Now,
Right.
Now you've added, now for the exact configuration, so you added that additional module, so now there's 2 bytes of input data and 4 bytes of output data.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, well, these numbers look different. So initially, the first time that we did this was with the generic, right? And when we did it, it was 1. But
Well,
since then, we added this additional module.
exactly.
So now it's 2.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. And then on the outputs, I had 3 initially because of the manifold. And now with this new module, I have an additional byte of outputs.
That's right. But here, one big difference you'll see is that the configuration table now has bytes in it, 34 bytes.
Yeah, because initially we did it with 0, right?
That's right. Now we have parameters that we want to push down to what's in the forward open message, and those are the parameters. And then status input now is 60 instead of 48.
Okay.
All right. So you can see here that's all good. You can hit OK, but I would like to show you what else is created. So go to controller tags. Oh wait a minute, no, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, the controller tags will show the same thing. Go to main program and main routine, and you'll see a couple of rungs of data here.
Yeah.
These rungs will take the data and transfer them from I call it the raw data to user-defined data types that were created. And those data types are under assets and user-defined. And you'll see there's a status module, there's a status one.
Yeah.
And you can double click if you want to open it up to look at it. And now it has everything laid out in the right data size that you need to really interpret your diagnostic information.
Oh, so that's for the number 4 that we got when I disconnected the module just a few minutes ago. It would be shown now here instead of looking at the raw data. It will tell me which module it is.
Now I'll tell you. Now it'll be very clear. You'll see module number, submodule. You'll see the diagnostic error, and so on. If you go to the and by the way, that's the data structure for each module. If you go to inputs,
okay,
you'll see the data structure for the different inputs, but now it's clearly defined, right? So you see.
I'm gonna know which one is which instead of figuring out which bit is which.
Right. So
same thing for the outputs, I would imagine.
So you can cancel these data types. I was just doing that to show you what the different data types are. Now we have to transfer this stuff over. We have to transfer this into the project that you're working on.
Okay.
Alrighty. So to do that, the first thing we could do is we can go to the Ethernet module on the left in the tree.
Yeah.
And then you can right-click on that, and then you can say copy.
Copy.
And then you can go
bring
to
it
the
into my
other project, and you can paste.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna delete this because this is the one that
delete that one, please.
This is the one that we created with the EDS file.
Right. So we can delete that.
Okay.
And now you can just
And then I
right-click
can
and paste.
Paste.
Yeah.
And that brings the whole
that brings
thing
that in
inside.
there. Right. Now go back to the L5X project.
Okay.
And go to these rungs and select these rungs. Select 0, 1, and 2.
Okay.
Okay. And now right-click and export rungs.
Export rungs.
Yes. And then, so yeah, this will create a routine. You could use a default name.
Okay.
And hit export.
Let me just make sure that I know where this is going to paste it. My document Studio 5000 and projects, and then export. Okay.
Okay, and now you want to go back to your other project, your main project.
Yeah.
And now you want to go to the main routine.
Yeah.
And if you right-click.
In this case, it's open. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right-click there, and import rungs.
Import rungs, and there they are.
And find that, yes, and hit it, open. And then hit OK.
Create. So it grabs everything on that code, on that other code, and brings it into my project. So if my project had like 100 rungs already, this is how I would bring just those unique rungs.
These 3 rungs would come in, and the input ones should be at the beginning of the project, and the outputs, you should set the outputs near the end. Now, since we did this, I'd like for you to also look at the UDTs, look at your assets in your new project, in your current working project.
This
project.
Sure. This is my project assets.
So the UDTs came over as well.
And they came over with when I exported and imported the
rung.
The rungs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Like, how do I export the UDTs and bring them over here?
Yeah.
But it's already
very
done.
important to do it this way. Do not copy and paste over the UDTs. It will not work right.
Okay, so it's important that you not only go and do something like, oh, just right click and copy runs, and then bring it over.
Do not do that.
You have to export it and import it.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Good.
Okay.
So now it seems like everything is in my main project. So I have these 3 rungs, I have the UDTs, I have my Ethernet device, and I would imagine that now if I go to the controller tags and I look into my inputs, for example.
So now you want to work. Now your customer wants to work with the UDT I/O, not the raw data.
So not this one.
So not the one that's not that I/O. Correct. You want to look at the one that's called inputs, outputs, and status. That has a data type that is the data type. So now you see everything is going to be labeled module inputs, module 2, channel 0 to channel 7. And then you see the next one, module 4, channel 0 to channel 3. Now all of your inputs are clearly labeled, and you see in the description field the 8 digital input module, and then it transitions to the 4 digital in, 4 digital out. So everything is, the nomenclature is done for you.
Got it. So, but all of these are pointed to the raw data at the end of the day.
That's what the logic does. Yep.
Okay, now I get it. So the logic is grabbing the information from the UDTs and pointing it to the raw data.
That's correct.
And the other way around for the outputs is grabbing it from or from the inputs is grabbing it from the raw data and put it in the UDTs.
That's right.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. So save this project, I guess.
Save this project. Okay.
And then let's try to download it.
Download it, yeah. So to me, it seems like the cleanest and more elegant way of doing it is with the L5X, because that way it brings all of the diagnostics. It also brings all of the tags, which is really important.
Yes.
This to me seems like the most elegant way, and it's actually pretty quick in a way. I mean, yes, I do have to go through the process of exporting and importing and all of that, but at the end of the day, it gives me a lot of additional functionality.
Absolutely, I agree 100%.
Okay. So, okay, it's running and everything says it's okay. So theoretically, I should be able to, again, push the button and now see.
Yeah, if you push the button and now you see your button is on the module 2.
It is on the module 2, yeah.
Module 2, channel 4.
Channel 4. Yep.
Okay.
So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Channel 4, and then this should be channel 0, I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
Channel 0.
Okay. So it points to the module that's being used, and then if you want to go to the outputs, where it says test outputs, and now here it should be very clear. You want to go to the VAEM. You want to go to channel 0, your first coil.
First coil. Yeah, I see the coil on physically on the manifold.
And you can go now you could go to exactly what coil you want to use here, because it's all laid out for you which channel you're going to.
Yeah, I don't have to be.
You have to hunt and peck.
Kind of hunt. Yeah, exactly.
And now if you go to module 4 to the digital outputs on the last module, you can go to exactly which one you want to turn on, and you should see that one come on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, definitely. I like this approach with all of the labels, tags already done.
And the same should work for the status and the diagnostics also.
Oh yeah, that's actually one that's really important, because previously when you showed me the raw data, I was like, oh well, this is gonna be a little bit tough to figure out which one is which.
Mm-hmm.
But now I get.
And now you open up each individual module, or whichever module you want to create a diagnostic for.
Okay, let's do the last module so I can unplug that one.
Okay.
So, so now this one is telling me this is the module number 4.
Yeah.
And if I don't know what the number 4 is, I can always go back to here, right, to the web browser.
That's right.
And see number 4. It's this one.
Correct.
4 digital inputs and 4 digital outputs.
That's right.
Okay. So number 4, and it's submodule number 0, channel 0, present state 1, diagnosis state 1, diagnosis code 0. So if I was to disconnect this module from the AP network, I should get a fault.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me do that. There.
And there you go. And so now you see here it's decimal. Actually, it would be a little bit better if you change that decimal to hex. And by the way, I think this is going to be a change we're going to make in the next firmware. Now, that hex code will line up with the codes in the user manual.
In the user manual for
the Ethernet, for the API system, I believe.
For the whole system.
Yeah, there's a system manual, and there should be, I think, error codes in this manual.
Okay, so diagnostics maybe.
The status. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Yep.
So if I look up that code that it's giving me, which is hex 08010127, 08010127.
Yep.
This one.
Yep.
It says communication to AP module interrupted. The AP system communication to a module is aborted. Remedy: restart the AP system or check the cable.
There you
which
go.
is exactly what I did. I disconnected the cable, so now I know how to fix it.
Right.
Got it.
Okay.
So, can I create something more severe, like a short circuit with a clip?
If you like to.
Okay. Let me see. I thought I had a clip here. Yeah, I do have a clip here. So
but you still have that module disconnected though, right? So you're at
yeah,
the same thing.
I
So
gotta
you might have
bring
to
it back on.
recycle power to it. Yeah.
Yeah, let me do that. Yeah, I just want to make sure that I see a different kind of diagnosis.
Sure.
Okay, I'm power cycling right now. And okay, it's power cycled and it should come back online shortly. So here I see that all of the errors went away, right?
Yes.
So now if I do a short circuit on one of the inputs, let's say here, let me do a short circuit on the first input. There, I made a short circuit on input number on channel 0.
Okay.
So now it's telling me diagnosis code 0101010B.
Okay.
So I go back here, 01 0101010B. Short circuit overload in sensor supply. There we go.
There you go.
Check connected, yeah, check sensor and wiring. So good. I removed the paper clip.
Yep.
And the error one goes away.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that from here I can keep working on my project.
One final thing here now. If you remove the Ethernet IP cable, your outputs should stay on.
Right. Okay. So let me. Yeah, because we changed that parameter, right?
We changed that parameter from default of reset to hold last state.
Yeah, we did that where here and then here.
Correct.
Hold last state. Okay. So let me try that. I'm gonna set some outputs. So those two, I have two coils on two different valves, and then I'm going to remove the Ethernet IP cable to the AP module, right? So I disconnect that.
You're gonna disconnect the Ethernet IP connection to the API, correct?
To the PLC.
Yeah, correct.
So yeah, as you can see here, I/O not responding because
right.
These modules should say I/O faulted, right?
Yes, which it does. Yep.
But the valves, the coils remain on.
Okay.
I mean,
yep.
I see them physically here.
Sure. And that's exactly how it should behave. And that's a parameter setting that you've created now. And this is the way to do parameterization with the API system. Comparing it to the CPX, we don't have that modify.
Festo maintenance tool or...
Yeah, we don't have that modify feature anymore, that system save parameter that we used to be able to use to save the parameter on a device. But this is a much more secure way because it's really excellent for disaster recovery. If something were to happen to the API node, needed to be replaced, the parameters will always be there because it's pushed down from the PLC. It doesn't reside in the Ethernet adapter.
Right. So all of the parameters are written somehow here,
correct.
Right, on this configuration assembly.
That's right.
So everything here, I mean, there must be a parameter here that says, yes, hold the last state and all of that.
Everything is documented here too, so you can kind of go through these descriptions and you can open up some of these bytes and you'll see which parameter does what.
Right. Yeah, so the module code, the parameter length for every single module. Yeah, no, you're right. That's cool because if for some reason this module, the Ethernet IP module fails, I can just replace that and all of the parameters are within the PLC code.
That's correct. Yep.
Got it.
That's why I always say for disaster recovery, this is an excellent approach.
Yeah, I agree. No, I think the three different paths that you showed me are great. I mean, there are differences between each other, of course. I think it would be up to every programmer to follow the one that they like the most. Personally, I think in most cases I will go with the L5X just because of what I explained earlier, right? I mean, you get the UDTs, you get everything already imported in here. It takes me maybe 1 more or 2 more minutes to export and import, but it's just 3 rungs. works, so it's not a big deal. Right?
Absolutely.
And the benefits that I get are huge compared to the other ones.
I would recommend that way to go all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it gets more critical when you have a larger configuration with different modules, and especially if you want to do parameterization, it's the only way to go.
Right. Okay. If I wanted to do parameterization, that would be the only way to go. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Got it.
We could work out other ways with the fixed if you needed to, but this is by far the easiest way. Just the app note has other information on handling parameter information and some other diagnostic information with that's a little bit more advanced for this topic for this scenario. But so anyone can always reference the app note, and of course the user manuals will have all the basic information that's needed to get started with this device or the system.
Yeah. I mean, maybe later on we can do another session and you can show me some additional features. But right now, for basic operation, I think this is good.
Yes, great.
All right, perfect, Frank.
Great, Sandro.
Thank you very much, and
you're welcome.
And we'll be talking.
And okay, of course, and happy trails with your new Ethernet IP adapter for the CPX-AP-I system.
Thank you. I'm happy to start using this thing.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
You're
welcome, Sandro.